Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. So today, folks, before I kick off with the main article of this video, shall we just go on over to XPlay and see what the subscriber count is? Oh, oopsie doopsie. And if you look at my screenshot here, which I recorded just a couple of days before, it was 490,000. Like Bucks Fizz say, the camera never lies. La 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 la.
Sexism in gaming.
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 Yeah.
Let's talk about the main article today. From Bounding into Comics, Bel-Air is the latest example of Hollywood's horrible trend of woke reboots. Yep, and I did a reaction to this because my lovely cousin in Canada said you need to do this, and boy, she wasn't wrong. It looks horrible. I want to get into the Rotten Tomato scores as well about it because I thought that was very interesting. So who asked for an R-rated reboot of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Hollywood did. And if you're reading this, you've probably watched a number of your favorite TV shows and movies get the remake or reboot treatment over the last few years. Ghostbusters, Star Wars, we know what a pile of shit that's been. Doctor Who, get rid of Jodie, please. Cowboy Bebop, the list goes on and on. But these are not your average reboots. The term woke reboot is one that I've been using for a few years to describe Hollywood's practice of remaking beloved properties by modernizing them to have a progressive slant ideology. You know it, I cover it here on my channel. Many of these remakes have the same name as their predecessors, almost as if Hollywood is actively trying to replace their history. Thank you very much. Who is this person again? I want to give them credit. Jacob Smith. Jacob, you're speaking my language, dude. Awesome, awesome. While NBC Universal decided to spare The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air of its name, the decision to move forward with another woke reboot was made based on the popularity of a YouTube concept that drew the eye of actor Will Smith, who, funny enough, is a producer for Cobra Kai. Thank God that hasn't been wokeified by Netflix, because I guarantee if Netflix came out of the barn doors and made that show from the beginning, oh, nobody would like it, I guarantee it. Thank God YouTube Reds were the first to get hold of it and allow it to be aired on their platform. And I guess it must be frustrating for Netflix that they can't go in there and wokeify Cobra Kai. And in fact, Cobra Kai has kind of shoved that narrative back in their face, which is great. It's like taking Step by Step and turning it into The Sopranos. Yeah, I mean, that would be quite wild, but you just can't do that. Seconds into the first episode, you are treated to blaring rap music of local Philly rappers Freeway and Meek Mill, reminding you this isn't a family-friendly sitcom with positive reinforcement that you're used to. That idea was so the Reagan era. I mean, come on, man. Ronald Reagan, awesome president. I've always said he was. Like, you know, he called Gaddafi a mad dog, and he deserved it anyway. We live in the era of nihilism, where mercy is mistaken for amusement. Set in modern-day Philly, this is one where people say the N-word and pull guns on each other because we need to reflect a realistic take on how this story would be told. There's no Paddy's Pub in this Philly. That's terrible. And of course, it is fine for African Americans to address each other by the N-word, whether it's friendly or aggressive. But if anybody else who's not Afro-American says that, well, you know what's going to happen, right? So, carry on further into this article. In Bel-Air, we take the charismatic character Will Smith and turn him into an angry, bitter teenager. Will, unlike his sitcom counterpart, is quick to jump into the arms of confrontation at the expense of rationale. Didn't we see this in films like Boys in the Hood and Juice? Okay, he has an encounter with the local gang leader, because what other kind of person would you have an encounter with in Philly who he's put out a hit on after him picking up a baseball game went awry? So we're taking gambling bets on a baseball game. Okay, in your local neighborhood. Okay, alright. He ends up in jail and is then bailed out by his Uncle Phil and shipped to California, where he can become the new Prince of Bel-Air. Wow. I'm just so aroused with excitement right now. This is where the difference between the two shows becomes glaring, to the point where it becomes a breaking point for many fans of the show. Did you not watch my trailer, people? I highlighted the red flags in that trailer. The name of these characters are the same, but the personalities have taken a complete 180. Let's take the lovable figure of Uncle Phil and turn him into a corrupt politician, because who cares more about his campaign than his family? Because you wouldn't expect a black man who lives in Bel-Air to keep his nose clean, do you? Wow. This is a great article, man. Speaking of dirty noses, Carlton has gone from a nerdy, preppy student who viewed his father as his biggest role model and is turned into a, wait for it, coke-snorting egomaniac whose only resemblance of the original character is he's not down with the culture. Hilary Banks is still a narcissist, so it makes sense that she would have a popular Instagram page. Add in an unfaithful Aunt Vivian and Ashley Banks, who is gay now. Oh, God. Wow. Ashley Banks is gay. Wow. What would Tatiana say about that? Jesus Christ. I did not know that was coming up. I did not know that. Wow. And NBC Universal wouldn't greenlight this project without LGBT representation and more rap music than a hot 97 concert. And you have a woke reboot of The Fresh Prince fit for modern times. And that, people, is exactly the problem. Wowee. I mean, this guy goes on to say as well that woke reboots are fundamentally lazy attempts to cash in on established franchises that do more to destroy legacies than add to them. I've been saying that now already, folks. You can just go and create something brand new. He highlights Empire and Power with similar concepts, but they're brand new IPs. I've never watched them, but I've heard they're pretty good. But I've said this already, and people will say to me, "Oh, Jason, why do you always attack the rebranding of beloved IPs?" Because it's fucking stupid, that's why. Nobody's asked for it, nobody wants it. Hollywood wants to go back. They're ashamed of what they've done before, despite the fact that The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was one of the more better comedies that came out in the 90s. And just, you can see how a positive black family can be really funny without shoving their message down your throat. I like The Cosby Show, which did a lot of preaching back in the day. But no, that's not good enough, apparently, according to NBC. We've got to rewrite a few things, and we've got to bring in the ology, as Maureen Lipman used to say in those commercials.
Anything else?
And sociology.
An ology?
Wow, I'm just done. I'm not going to watch this show. I can pirate it if I want to, but I'm just not going to give NBC any credit whatsoever. Thank God for Bounding Into Comics for writing articles like this and reinforcing what I've always said. Yeah, people who say to me, you should let things go and let things be as they are. No, I don't want to do that because I hate what's going on. Is it any wonder that DC Comics, Marvel Comics are being flushed down the toilet? Manga comics, Japanese pop culture, which my friend has been saying to me since the 90s, will eventually take over the asylum, and thank God it has. No woke ideology in those IPs, are there? Fantastic. Now that burp leads me into Rotten Tomatoes. So as you can see from the average critic score, 67%, the average audience score, 73%. It's only 8% between, guys. It's not really that much. Actually, no, my maths is terrible here. It is actually 6% between both scores. But let's just delve into this really, really quickly because I thought this was interesting. And look at that horrible poster there. I mean, that's emaciated Will Smith, isn't it? This guy has no sex appeal whatsoever. I mean... no. So Doreen St. Felix, the missing element here is the camp of a juicy soap. If we can't laugh, then we should gasp. Remaking an iconic series is a silly endeavor. Why not lean all the way into that? Yep, okay, Monique Jones, Bel-Air is enjoyable enough as a dramatic reboot of the popular 90s sitcom starring Will Smith. Tell us something we don't know, Miss Sherlock Holmes. James Croots, not Groot. While the symbolism may sometimes be laid on a little thick, Cooper demonstrates early that he isn't afraid to tackle thought-provoking social debates. We don't need them. Like the original, it gets by on the charm of its lead. No, it doesn't. It's just emaciated. Needs a lot of hamburgers in him. The immediate distaste for Carlton and the warmth and loveliness of Aunt Viv. If Cassandra Freeman is recast, there will be hell to pay. Yeah, obviously been paid a lot of money to say that. Matt Roche. Painfully earnest and mostly stripped of its original buoyancy, this formerly amusing and entertaining fish out of water story is left gasping for an original thought. Pat Stacey, all the humour, warmth and character of the original has been sucked out and replaced with nothing really. I can go on and on, folks, but we've pretty much had what we've had to see here in this. I mean, people are not blown away by this. Why would they be? Why would you be? That's why I'm here to tell you, steer clear of woke reboots, because that is what they are, and that is something I'm going to keep on saying here on my channel. So if you enjoyed it today, folks, make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Just imagine it as the new Will Smith .2. That's his face there. Just smack it and then you'll get my subscribe notifications coming up. And on that one, folks, if I were you, I'll check me out on my next video.
The only pronouns we accept in this dojo are sensei and student.
Those are nouns.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think what I meant to say is quiet!
Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog. Your face, your ass, what's the difference?